He's the 2004 Olympic silver medalist in marathon, and just last Sunday won the 2009 New York City Marathon. Mr. Meb Keflezighi. Meb, great to have you with us, bud. Thanks so much for coming in studio.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So, Meb, in the last week, you've done David Letterman. You've been at the New York Knicks game. You've been traveling around the country. Here in San Diego at the Hall of Champions. On Friday, you were honored. It's been a little bit of a whirlwind for you.
No, it's been fun. It's been a great opportunity to share my story on what it takes to win the New York City Marathon, and I'm just delighted to be here with you now to share it with the rest of San Diegans and many other people.
So Meb, for a lot of our folks who they saw you win New York, but they don't know a heck of a lot about you and your history. Take us through, when you were you're born in Eritrea. Is that correct? That's
you
close.
got it. Eritrea.
Close. Eritrea. Born in Eritrea. There's 11 kids, and your father was looking for a better life for the family. And so take us through his journey before he ended up in San Diego.
Well, I was born in Eritrea, like you said, and 5 other brothers and sisters, and my mom.
Yeah.
So 6 children and my mom to be able to get out of Eritrea. And my dad made it to Sudan because of a civil war that was going on with Ethiopia and Eritrea. And he flew in 1981, and he lived in Sudan for 2 years and 3 years in Italy. And obviously he just have to escape for his life and want to see a better future for his for the kids and his wife.
So how much contact did the family have with your dad while he was in the Sudan and then in Italy?
Very few.
Very little, huh?
Very little, and then probably wrote a letter once a year or maybe every 6 months.
Was he a fugitive? Were people looking for him? I mean,
no, it's just he. Because of the war,
right.
He probably knew too much of the war and he has to escape for his life. Otherwise, he's going to get killed, and my mom don't want him to get killed or nor us, so he just says she has to take that risk for him to escape, but there was no guarantee that he was going to make it safely, and obviously he's a very ambitious and hardworking person, and he made it through, traveling through the night and sleeping during the day because he can't be found. He has to hide.
He can't be caught.
Yeah, he can't be caught, and walking in the night and not having the bushes and darkness, hyenas and other animals.
That's amazing.
I don't know how he did it.
Yeah, how long was he out there?
Oh, I mean, we don't know the exact time, but he's about probably 300, 400 miles and all walking. That is.
Oh, wow. So he gets to the Sudan, and he didn't bring the family to the Sudan, or did he?
No, it's just all by himself right now.
Himself.
And he got a job or two right away, and he applied to go to Italy, and he lived there to do the paperwork and things like that for 2 years, and then finally he got it. His hard work and kind of knowing right away where to apply and things like that helped him, and made it to Italy, and he was there for 3 years and working three different jobs so that he can save his kids.
What type of work did he do when he was in Italy?
He was working, cleaning and sweeping, and obviously working in the office also, where he was a charming person. So the president of the company knew of him very well and how hard he worked, and it was with the president of the company's help and my aunt that was living there that be able to save us.
And so the family, you guys didn't go to Italy. Then your dad came to the United States. And when did he? You were 12 years old before you were brought here?
I left when I 10 years old from Eritrea, but we did meet my dad in Italy eventually after 5 years.
After 5 years?
Yeah.
What was that reunion like? At 5 years you hadn't seen your father.
Oh, it was, very emotional, obviously, but first time we met him, it was in Athens.
Yeah.
He flew from Italy to Athens, and we came from, Eritrea. At the time was it was Ethiopia.
Right.
So we met there, and he thought I was my, Marhawi, who was 2 years, 4 years younger than I am.
Yeah.
And he said, no, that's not, that's not Marhawi's Meb. And he just went to tears because he was expecting me to be taller, bigger, older. in terms of because you could only imagine what his kids' ages are or is by the standard of Italians. So when you say, hey, you have a 3-year-old or 5-year-old or 6-year-old, oh, might have a 6-year-old son and he must be this big or whatnot.
Right.
We were.
But you're a little guy.
I'm a very little guy, so he was disappointed, but my mom was concerned about us being safe and together. He went to tears, and he's like, wow, if you guys are this bad shape, how are the others that are not getting any contact or any money to be able to survive in that world? So my mom just told him, hey, they can get bigger and all and wiser and nutrition wise while when we get connected in Italy and beyond. Just now you need to make sure they're all here, because it was very difficult for her to travel with 6 kids, and so
can't even imagine.
But yeah, she's also a tremendous person in her own rights.
Oh, absolutely. And what your parents went through is pretty amazing, to try to keep the family together and to basically be traveling all over the world to do that.
Well, it was a tough road, and it's not just, hey, I'm gonna go to Italy and everything's smooth, and then come to the U.S. It wasn't all smooth either. My dad was very tenacious and hardworking, and he won't take a no. He's just always persistent.
Right.
And that's probably one of the characters I get, of my hard work and persistence and perseverance and things like that. It just, if you can survive through those things, and then I could definitely survive the small things that I'm dealing with.
So when you came to the States, I'm imagining you didn't speak much English.
Didn't speak any English at all.
Any English at all. And when you started school at the age of 12, right, in the States here, how tough was it to be in a school where you didn't speak the language?
It was very difficult. It was definitely a culture shock when we came here, because even though we were in Italy for a year and a half, it's different than it's living in the U.S.
Right.
And I went to Jefferson Elementary, North Park, and basically I went through ESL, which is English as a second language.
Right.
Just have to learn ABCs, and I still have a couple things that I have. A table. It says, I will draw the table and write table on it, and you see the visual, and a door or a window or a pencil and all those things. I have some of those that I still save to be able to reminisce what
you
how
went
I started.
through.
Yeah.
You had to learn a whole new language and then a whole new culture.
Right. But I always worked hard, and I just found something from 6th grade from my teacher was Cordy Smith. I just figured out her first name recently, but
it was just Mrs. Smith before.
Mrs. Smith. I'm like, who's that? I was about a month ago. I was like trying to figure it out. Miss Smith. But then I found a certificate that I got from her March '88.
Right.
So 21 years ago.
Wow.
And she says I got the Super Kid Award, and what it said on that is for hard work and listening.
You're a good listener.
I would like to think so, and that's you have to be a good listener to be able to support and be able to learn things, and obviously I was working hard since I was 6th grade.
So sports in this country: baseball, football, basketball. Sort of little guy. What sports did you gravitate to, and how long was it before you got into running?
Football, but I don't know was the American football.
Oh,
coming
you're
from
soccer.
Italy,
Yeah.
I said football, and then when we came here, soccer. I'm like,
right.
But first time it was, we used to live on North Park by Arizona Street or Texas Street and University Avenue, and we used to walk to Morley Field and play soccer there. And I think it was a 88 or 87 on December when usually the Foot Locker is held, and people were running. We're like, what are they running? They're not chasing anything. We haven't got introduced to running.
They're not chasing anything. They just run for the heck of it.
They're not running. We weren't introduced to that yet, to run, because we used to play soccer all the time over there. And I think that might be the year even Mark Davis won, 87.
Okay, yes, so Oceanside guy,
Yeah, so that's how we start.
Oh, so you saw these guys running.
Yeah, but in Italy, my dad always took us to soccer practice in the park, and or we walk or things like that.